got lineups, let's go. We got lineups, we got lineups, we got lineups, let's go. We got lineups, we got lineups, we got lineups, let's go. We got lineups, we got lineups, we got lineups, let's go. Whoop pack, whoop pack, whoop pack, let's go. Whoop pack, whoop pack, whoop pack, let's go.
Wolf of Fantasy Sports, DFS Wolfpack, NFL Week 9. First look, a player I want to highlight is Josh Allen at 7,000. His projected ownership is 8.6%, and this is Draftkings player pricing. I think he comes in right around 8%, give or take, and I think there's a lot of other options this week at quarterback that people will gravitate towards, like Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, and there's some paydown options in good spots as well. So I think Josh Allen's flying under the radar leading up to week 9. 7,000, price is right. The first 4 weeks of the season, he was arguably an MVP candidate with the likes of Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes. He was putting up 30 plus in the first 3 games and then put up 25 DraftKings points versus Vegas. He's shown you his ceiling. He can get up to 40, 37 versus Miami, and then he surprised me with 36 versus the Rams in a tough back and forth matchup. So there is a ceiling with Josh Allen. You haven't seen much out of him in the last 4 weeks. He had a few tough matchups versus Tennessee and New England, and there was 2 rushing touchdowns in that New England game by Zach Moss. And Josh Allen did have a rushing touchdown in that game, but he didn't throw for a touchdown, and he didn't get over the 300-yard mark. I think in this spot versus Seattle, who's arguably the worst versus the pass next to the Falcons. So if you look here, Seahawks are giving up the most yards per game throughout the season if you look at the stats, and they're second to last versus the quarterback position, and the Falcons are the worst. So if you're looking, this is a good spot for Josh Allen to get over 300 yards in this game, and I think he gets it done. And I think he comes in lower owned, and he also has rushing upside, which is really good. So if you check here, rushing attempts per game, 10, 11, 8, 4 versus Tennessee, 3 versus Vegas, 8, 4 rushing attempts versus the Rams, 4 versus Miami, and 14 rushing attempts versus the Jets. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 rushing touchdowns so far this season. I think he's just in a great spot. I think this matchup goes back and forth, and I think the Bills have a realistic shot at winning this game. And they're 6-2 record, and I believe Seattle's only lost 1 game. So if you look at the quarterbacks that faced Seattle, you have Kyler Murray at 41, Cousins at 16, Fitz at 26, Prescott at 33. Now Jimmy G, the lineups where I had Carr, I pivoted to Jimmy G last week because they were the same price. Jimmy G was $100 cheaper, and I figured versus Seattle secondary, he could get it done with the likes of Kittle and Ayuk and Kendrick Bourne. He is just an injury-prone quarterback, and then when Mullins came in, he was successful, and I think this just sets up for Josh Allen to bounce back, have a breakout week. Hopefully gets us over 30-plus DraftKings points. Josh Allen will be in one of my main lineups this week as long as the weather's good and everything lines up. So first look, NFL Week 9. Good luck. It's the DFS Wolfpack at Wolf of Fantasy Sports. Hit me up if you want the rest of my plays for this week. Let's get to the money. 1.
We got lineups, let's go. We got lineups, we got lineups, we got lineups, let's go. We got lineups, we got lineups, we got lineups, let's go. We got lineups, we got lineups, we got lineups, let's go. Whoop pack, whoop pack, whoop pack, let's go. Whoop pack, whoop pack, whoop pack, let's go.